Hi, my name's Maggie from the Incredible Seed Library, and I'd like to talk to you about Saving Pea Seeds. Let me just share a screen. Okay, so modern varieties of peas have been bred to be short and to all come into seed at the same time, thus making it easier for harvest for farmers. But this isn't really what gardeners want. Gardeners want a crop that harvests over a long period of time. Peas are very easy to save seed, and so there's very little danger of cross-pollination as they are a strong inbreeding crop. Heritage varieties of seeds exhibit some quite different characteristics. They can be tall and have coloured flowers and generally be a much more interesting crop. Some of them grow up to 2 metres tall, and when you do grow these tall varieties, grow them in a single row rather than the double row that you normally dwarf peas are grown in. There's many types of pea. Sugar snaps and Monge 2 don't develop the parchment like inner lining that other peas gives other peas their shell-like structure. The main difference in peas is in the shape of the seed. Wrinkled seeded peas shrivel when they're dried, and they contain more sugar than starch, and they're often more tender. Varieties with a round seed tend to give less tender peas, but the plants tend to be hardier and more suitable for overwintering. So it's a good idea to grow some of both, really. Grow your seeds early. I grow mine on in modules or in a piece of guttering. I do this to protect them from mice. I have a terrible mice problem in my garden, so they're looking for food at the time of year when you're growing your peas. So I hang them up from the greenhouse roof, and then I don't have the same problem. If you start them early, when they grow well when it's not too hot. And this also allows plenty of time for the seeds to mature and dry in late summer. You need to grow the peas just like you would grow a normal crop of peas, but you do need to rogue them. This means removing any seedlings that are not typical for the variety. Different varieties of seeds should be isolated and by a minimum of 1 metre and preferably 2 metres. This is less because they're likely to cross and more likely they'll just mix together as they're growing. So if you keep them separate, then you can make sure you keep the varieties separate. Allow the pods to dry on the vine. They're much better if they dry in the open air. I always set some of my plants aside specifically to grow for seed. You need to grow at least 10 plants to ensure genetic diversity, but I like to save all of the seeds from at least 40 plants just for the Incredible Seed Library. Once the pods start turning brown and parchment-like and the seeds rattle in the pods, they're ready for harvesting. And because they do actually germinate and grow over a longer period, the seeds actually ripen over a long period too. So you might find that if it's a bit rainy, you want to harvest some of the earlier ripening seeds first and then harvest some other ones later. Once they're completely dry, it's a good idea to put them aside in a warm, dry place in the pods for a couple of weeks. Once they're completely dry, they're ready for shelling. And the easiest way is just to do it by hand. Keep varieties different, keep different varieties separate, and keep them all labelled. And make sure that you just process one variety at a time so that you don't get them mixed up. When they're shelled and dry, further dry them by putting them I put mine in a voile bag, or you can use a pop sock, and put them in an airtight jar with plenty of silica gel for a couple of weeks. This puts the seed into an almost hibernation state, which allows you to have much better germination and storage. After 2 weeks in an airtight jar, they can go into a smaller airtight jar with a small amount of silica gel. Seed libraries are a long-term solution. You borrow the seed and then you save some of the seed that you grow to return it to the seed library, and everyone benefits. There is a seed donation form in the featured tab on the Facebook group, or you can get in touch with me by email and I'll send you one. If you've saved some open pollinated seeds and would like to share them with others for free, then please contact the Incredible Seed Library for more information. The email address is incredibleseedlibrary@gmail.com. And we've also got a Facebook page where you can find our current seed list and information on how to order. I'm afraid we can only send seeds inside the UK. So thanks for listening to this. Hopefully you'll grow and share some seeds with us, because remember, a food revolution starts with seed.